Everyone.
Ahoy, hoy, everybody. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. We did not just, we were not just shuffling everything around right before the camera went on. I promise that's not a thing that happened.
Research just before we go live. And we have a canine incursion too. He's loose.
That's all right. You know what? I think he's kind of gotten used to.
Chill.
Yeah, I think he's gotten used to it now. Now he's just instead of coming here and jumping up on the table, he's in exploring the kitchen, which is totally fine. So, wow, I hope you're having a great day so far. I'm going to be setting up the making sure we have all of our, it doesn't matter how much you set it up ahead of time. It really doesn't.
But I got to say, Flynn was basically doing a little jig because he figured out with a friend's input
with Bricks O'Brien,
how to do a super cool thing that's going to make a lot of the behind the scenes razzle dazzle easier.
Right. So you guys know, we do our usual show and how it goes. And then on Sundays, we actually use a different software called StreamYard, which allows us to do the things like highlighting people's comments. Like that.
like you just did, and it's not even Sunday, right?
Right. And then you can see and you can see the little logo up there, which actually will eventually pay to get rid of. But so that's something that we're not able to do on our regular show. And now we will be able to do that. It's all going to be integrated. Super excited about that. It's going to mean a big jump forward into not only the tech of the show, but also the ability for us to interact with you more, because we'll be able to highlight comments and stuff on the regular, which I'm very excited.
But I'm gonna write something down real quick here, okay? I'm just gonna do a little tap into the supercomputer I carry in my pocket.
Yeah, Monica, the sound is better on StreamYard. I don't know why, but it just is. It's just the way it is. So we've got a little bit. Well, first of all, we've got a really exciting show. So
that is absolutely true.
Our buddy Lee is here. Lee is here, and he is going to be talking about Lego lettering, which we're super excited about because he's a genius. And if you saw the post on Instagram, then you saw his award-winning. It's called Black Letter. It's a medieval style font that he did out of Lego, and he won a new elementary contest for lettering. He's amazing. But we do have a little Lego news first.
Lego news.
But actually, what am I saying? Before we get to Lego news, we have so many other things to do. So many little features.
Here's a chance for you to help me out because I have no idea. I think I was told once before where this character is from, but he sure is cute. On my Disney pin, an otter, right there.
Very nice.
Oh, thanks for the focus, Clicky.
I know,
that was
Clicky's
good job.
Doing their job today. I always love that. And then I've got it's a classic.
I have a chin on my leg here.
Oh, do you? This is a classic. It is the Jack Skellington as as one of the stretching portraits from the Haunted Mansion. So I love that one. It's part of a series. So
it looks sort of Edward Gorey the way it's
it is a little Edward Gorey-ish.
What do we have here? We have Super Mermaid.
That's the video.
Character.
Yeah, that's the video thing.
Right there, hanging out on the news desk.
I gotta say, I'm a fan.
Well, you especially like the figures, right?
I do. And also, too, we have some exciting changes coming up to the Lego News segment soon that I'm really excited about, you guys, because you know how much we love being ridiculous and wearing costumes and stuff. I'm not going to say too much more about it, but I'm just going to say that we hopefully have we're going to have some fun changes taking place for the Lego News coming up soon. So
season 2 more absurd than season 1.
I know.
I'm getting thoroughly guilted by a dog here.
And speaking of season 1 of Lego Masters just premiered in the UK, so there was like all of this buzz on Twitter and stuff about it, and I was really freaking out. It was
they're seeing all the adventures starting from the first one, from the amusement park challenge.
So that was the first episode that showed last night, and then of course the big news. It also is that season 2 of US Lego Masters is premiering at the beginning of June. I think June 1st. It's going to be on a Tuesday again.
I can't wait. I want to have teams to root for, and gosh, I hope nothing breaks, and I hope they build really cool stuff that's big. I can't wait.
I know. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. So we're excited about that. It's going to like a month or so away, but
you know what it means too is that every week we get to see Brickmaster Amy, Brickmaster Jamie, and Will.
And you know what else it also means? It's on a Tuesday. It shows on a Tuesday, and our show is on a Wednesday. So we are going to be doing some recap shows.
Oh, yeah. So I'll just tell you in advance now, so no one's surprised. We're going to do spoiler-filled Wednesdays. I mean, we won't say who goes home.
We're working it out.
Okay,
we may also do it like a week off, right?
Yeah,
like comment on the week before's episode, because not a lot of people get to watch it.
Well, we don't want to ruin anyone's good time, but we also want to get, we want a chance to dish on the show too, right?
Wow.
And root for everyone.
Yeah.
Like you do.
I gotta turn this darn autofocus off now, because it was helping before.
Yeah.
But now Clicky is overworking.
I know.
Overdoing their job.
And who is our background from today, Flynn? Look at this background behind us.
Yes,
oh my gosh, no, I put Flynn on the spot.
We used it because we used it in the past, and we were rushing this morning, and I'm sorry. I am the worst
We'll
person.
catch up. No, I shouldn't put him on the spot. I
usually research it ahead of time, and this one was already loaded in, and I wanted to use it because we were having Leon. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I want to say it's either Patrick Wismer or P.T. McEwen. I know there's a P in my head somewhere, like the letter P is floating around in there.
And we're super grateful. We'll look it up so we know for sure. So it's P.T. McEwen's background, says Rob Zaccardi.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was one. I was close, and I apologize for having rushed into it like that.
Well, the thing about hanging out with this group of friends is we don't have to get everything right, and it's a good thing because you let us know when we get it wrong.
Definitely need that.
Hey, I have this idea, Flynn.
What's this idea?
Should we say hi to people?
Yeah, that takes me a moment to get together, so give me a second. To get that going, everybody.
All right. Well, I can share with you the second video character we have here.
Well, now
in their little home, right there.
DJ Unicorn,
right there. Check out that.
She's pretty fabulous. I gotta say, she's got good hair. Well, and of course, that makes me think that our buddy Matthew Ashton must have had something to do with that, because that's so My Little Pony, like that, that wavy hair.
Well, even to the degree there's even little painted tattoos. Like My Little Pony wasn't My Little Pony famous for having butt tattoos?
Yes, it's true.
That made them, people like them even more. We saw that on the Toys That Made Us.
We did.
Which is a great, if you like toys, and a bunch of us do. It's a really good series about the history of a bunch of different toy series.
So I have a list up now.
All right. Who's here, Flynn?
Alexander 23 is here. Apples is here. Aquamite TV. Brickanista. Bricky's Club. Bubs and Lavabat. Congratulations on 200 followers on Instagram. That's awesome. Chris did not get Ulysses Probe Chalice. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Debo Bricks is here. Delicious Foods. Hey, how's it going? Dinosaur 1994. Fabufan MKE. Gary Mullane is here. The Greebling Wizard. Glenn Millett. How's it going? Hooded One, I'm Bored Toys. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? Joel, he of many names, Marbella. Christopher Coster's here.
Hi, Christopher.
Our very special guest, Lee, is in the chat right now.
Yay.
Luke Solorzano is here.
Minifig Nick, Monica Berry.
Marilyn Parmley. Oh yes, Minifig Nick, Ms. Slowbrickta. Pete is here. Pete W. Rob Zaccardi and the Zaccardis. Lana, Elena, and Vanessa. Robin Eklund. Smoke Up Johnny. The Hornburgers are here. Ahoy, hoy, Hornburgers. WGJL Builds. Wilfred, bonsoir, and Zarakino, Kim. And I have something.
I have a quick thing I have to do.
Well, I have a quick thing that I have to do because I'm super embarrassed right now, you guys. I'm ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. And I forgot to send an invitation to our guest. So, probably a good idea to do that.
Well, it'll make everything that goes after a lot easier.
You guys. Lee, I know you're in the chat. I just sent the invitation to you. I am so sorry. We had a lot going on this morning. I'm just going to say that. I've done my best. Really, really sorry about that, Lee. The invitation should be in your email now. Wow. I've never done that. I've never done that in all the time we've done the show. I've never done that.
Well, I mean, there was some serious enthusiasm in the studio this morning, right? Right? It was for good reasons.
I am so embarrassed.
Well, the good thing is we're going to get to see Lee talk about lettering.
I'm sorry. Oh,
I talk about when we do Logan Cookie Time, that sound of happiness with him chomping a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
This one laughing is another sound of happiness. And lucky us, he does it a lot.
All right. Well, it's, fortunately we have another feature and some things to talk about before Lee comes on. So he'll have plenty of time to get here. All right. It's time for everybody. Are you almost done with that? You got
almost.
It? This is how unprepared we are today, guys. We're a mess, y'all. We are a mess today.
It says, oh, there it is. I have been ready for weeks with this one, Flynn.
I need a do-over on today.
Hi, I'm Richard, and this is Flynn.
Oh my God.
This is the TrickyBricks build and chat.
This is one for the books, guys. All right. And there's probably like a bunch of new people here, and I'm completely mortified because I swear it's not always like this.
Well, we actually have a sticker sheet to share today. This is from 2018. This is set 41344. The sticker set is medium size 10 by 12.5 studs, and it's Andrea's accessory store.
And we've had experience with Andrea before. We built her house.
Yep, and she has a little sister.
She has a little sister, Liz, and this has got some mirror and some weird like 80s kind of like triangles on it and lots of mirror stuff.
Major accessories.
Lots of accessories. And I purposely didn't use these in my my Fifi's mock because I wanted to have like all the live stuff, right?
The real tiny plastic sunglasses.
Real tiny plastic sunglasses, not just the drawn-on ones, you guys.
That was sticker set show and tell.
That was sticker set show and tell. So the okay, so there was the gift with purchase, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody was talking about the gift with purchase.
You mean
yesterday.
Amelia Earhart? Or a new one?
No.
Sorry.
No, the lunar probe.
I guess that's
the Ulysses lunar probe. Came out, and apparently it broke the Lego website. Ooh. It was so popular that it broke the website. So the Lego shop at home.
That's it. No more Lego.
No more. Sorry, everyone.
It's done.
That's it. Let me see. I'm gonna look up here. I had it up and then I closed it because I was getting all discombobulated.
And so Chris Chalice did not get it yet.
No, a lot of people didn't. It was, I'm serious, y'all. It was like all over the internet. Like all over the internet this morning. Everybody was saying that they couldn't get in to get it, and people's things, some people's things got canceled.
Oh, yikes.
And
they see that event needs a do-over.
Maybe
so it's the European Space Agency, right? And it's 2 E's. I don't know what the second E is. Maybe one of our European friends can help us out with that.
Yeah, well,
ESA.
I mean, I know that its rollouts can be difficult, certainly.
Well, it's just that it's so popular, right? Like people are really super into it.
Yep. I'm trying to think, and it was supposed to be like a special thing, but there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people signed up for the VIP thing now. So, it's a VIP reward is what it was. So it wasn't a gift with purchase. I apologize. It was a VIP reward, and there's so many people signed up for that now. And I'm going to try and share this picture here from our good friends over at Brickset.
Thanks, Brickset.
Thanks, Brickset. Here we go. There we go. The Ulysses Space Probe.
Look at that. No wonder people are so psyched about it. It's so sharp.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool. So I know a lot of people were doing it, but yep, there was definitely an issue. I'm sure that Lego is well aware and will be, we'll be fixing it hopefully for the next time. But yeah, that was, and it had already gotten delayed. There was a whole thing about it. So this has had a bit of a troubled rollout, unfortunately. But
fortunately, it's just the rollout. They have, forever to get this in people's hands, right? So I'm sure they'll make right on it. It's a pretty organized company, all in all.
Yeah, it was and I'm sure there's I don't know, for such a large company that puts out so much and is expanding seemingly so quickly, I think it's inevitable sometimes that things are going to go wrong. But still.
Well, first of all, they have a pretty good track record, and second of all, there are worse things than having a super popular thing, right?
Well, yeah, but people, I know
I don't want to minimize the frustration people have had when they were really expecting to get it, but hopefully they'll be able to make good on it very soon.
Well, but here's some other exciting news. And gonna have to share my screen here again. Here's some other exciting news. Notice my segues are much slower
when you're vamping.
When I'm vamping. Here we go. We've got this is from the Brothers Brick.
Thanks,
They've
Brothers
reviewed
Brick.
the new Batman classic TV series Batmobile.
My favorite. I gotta say, my Bat favorite. Every time that little moss wall went down and the Batmobile came out, and the sound of it and the flame coming out the back,
and the music right here. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger on the screen. Does that work? Yeah, there we go.
Music by Ray Conniff.
Was it?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. It
was.
Are you sure? Yeah, think about the background singers. Ray Conniff always had those background singers.
Well, I have a new respect for the Ray Conniff singers. I'll say that.
Okay, I'll double check that, but I think I've known that for a really long time. I think it is.
Anyway, excited about that Batmobile, and I was talking
those
to
red lines are. I mean, it's almost as cool as one of those like Jake Sadovich cars.
Yes, right? And I was talking to our
cool.
friend Eric from TrickyBricks, and he was telling me that it's like a new prints for the suit on this Joker, and it is the Cesar Romero Joker with the mustache, which is like my favorite part of the Batcave, the '66 Batcave.
I wonder who designed this. Like, I think the lines are so great. I love the sort of fishtail fins in the back.
We should look into that. But without further ado, everyone, it is time to welcome our special guest on.
Yay!
We are so excited to have him on here today. He is actually a member of our local lug, which is Bay Lug, and that's how we met him. And he's done several classes at Bricks by the Bay, which is our local convention, on lots of different things. He has many building talents, but one of his really incredible building talents is doing Lego lettering and Lego fonts. He's a master of the art, I have to say.
Well, which we know too is really hard, right?
If
you're trying to do a font from scratch.
Yeah.
plan that it's going to take a while.
But so everybody, please welcome to the stream, Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
How you doing today?
Good.
Good. It's so great to have you here. I know everybody's been really excited.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about what is it that attracts you to Lego lettering? I know that when we talked about you coming on the show, you talked about some things in lettering that you're really excited about right now. So I would love to can you tell us a little bit about your love of Lego lettering?
So first of all, I accidentally took 2 lettering classes when I first came to US. So I came here when I was 8th grade. So I signed up all my classes a bit late, and the only elective I had was lettering. And at the time, my mom, when she signed up the class for me, she saw it was about writing letters, like writing a letter to someone.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So
Different kind of lettering.
it thought it would be a good class for me to learn English, and it turned out to be something completely different. Yeah, so that's my start was I guess lettering and calligraphy. But in terms of Lego lettering, it's just when you're building mocks, you just sometimes you want to put in signs and stuff. You just have to come up with a way to, I guess, build it. So that's just where I started doing letters. And once you start doing letters, you kind of once you get a hang of it, it's pretty easy to come up with more letters, especially with new pieces. With all the new pieces Lego's coming up with, especially all the new pieces that has slopes and curves, it just makes lettering so much easier. And
do you make your new fonts right in bricks? Do you just start sketching in bricks, or since you have a background in calligraphy, do you draw it out first?
I do it with LDD, or was the digital designer first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's much easier to try different pieces in the same color, because a lot of these new pieces, they don't come in all the same colors.
Yeah. Right. Well, I was actually, I remember when the dots line started coming out, and we started getting all of those quarter round curve pieces, and the little I call them tombstones, like flat on one side with a curve on the other side, or I think Lego actually calls them stadium pieces or stadium tiles. But I remember thinking when those came out, like I was like, wow, that opens up like a whole new level of being able to create lettering like that.
Yeah.
Now, do you like to do I posted on Instagram your black letter font that you did for New Elementary that was just incredible. And that was those letters were a little more 3-dimensional, right? Like they weren't just flat tiles on, or how did you construct those, or how did you go about constructing them?
So for most of them, I just look at the font and try to, it's like building a mock. It's just look at the shape and try to fit Lego pieces to that shape.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
I've found it difficult. Well, 2 things I find very challenging in lettering and they're related, is one, if I have a building front, making my sign or my lettering just fit that just right, because it seems like the letters want to be a certain scale. Do you find it challenging and then the other thing is just determining scale on a font in the first place, and it's usually like whatever S or difficult letter I have kind of determines it. How do you go about determining size?
So if I need to do something for, like, build a mock with a sign, then the building adjusts to the font. Usually that's how
that would be my answer. That would totally be my answer.
So usually, I have a rough idea how big the font is going to be, or a rough idea how big the building is going to be. and then I find the right font, I guess, and then try to fit the building around the font.
When we built our theater, it has a marquee on it, and Flynn did the plate lettering for that. And I remember just thinking, if our building was only one stud bigger, just one stud, that's all we need, and it would have been a huge change. So we ended up changing the name of the theater to
multiple
fit the
times. Yeah, and this was doing the sideways, you know, like the sideways tiled lettering, like on the barber shop, or the like Al's, the on the modular building, which I know we're going to talk about. So that's we also did some lettering for our Ewok Adventureland sign that we did with Boone for Bricks Cascade, and that was actually creating letters out of
like rocket parts, basically out of greebling.
Yeah, out of mechanical, like greebling a font. Now, have you ever done those? Most of what I've seen of yours has been very clean.
I've done greebling, but I haven't done any greebling font. Like
it was well, I'll say the flexible tubes are your friend in the for lettering with greebles, that's for sure.
Well, one thing I found with the Ewok Adventureland sign was partly because the greebled parts were different colors, but also because they were sort of scrolly shapes, I had to put a black drop shadow behind it. I had to put a series of plates or other black pieces behind it to really be able for the letters to be legible.
Yes, sometimes that happens. I have a couple found I'll show that you probably need a background for it to pop out better.
Right.
Well, I don't want to get in the way of you showing your work or what you've prepared to talk about.
So whenever you're ready to share your screen, we'll do that.
All right, let me share my screen.
All right. Well, I am. We've done fonts now a couple of times.
California Dreamin'.
Yeah, we did our California Dreamin' thing, and
we've solved a lot of font problems by building big.
Well, and then and then I referenced your work a lot, Lee, when I was coming up with the font for California Dreamin', and that was before we even really knew each other. I had found your work online and was like, you know, using it as kind of like a guideline to help me figure out how to do it. So, oh, cool. He's got some lettering. Christopher's got some lettering coming up soon. Very good.
Oh, there's these
greebled lettering. All right. Oh, Hooded One's already ordered Flex Tube. He'd better start ordering parts for those huge buildings with lettering on it.
Well, we actually, I mean, my calligraphy is nowhere near as sophisticated as Lee's, but I was able to make thin lines on the sides of my like scrolly A and other things like that by using clips and just putting flexi tubes for a thin line detail.
Right. Okay, Lee, we're ready to, if you're ready to share your screen, you ready to go?
I'm ready, I think.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. I can see the screen. Am I on?
There you go. We're seeing exactly what you're seeing on your screen, so we're all good.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the third or fourth version of this presentation. So there are a lot of different ways to do Lego font, and this is the most basic, easiest way to do it is just build it up vertically. And Lego has done it many times in their idea books and sets. This one is pretty simple. If you want to get a bit more complicated and a bit more, how to put it, more like a real letter, you can build it horizontally. And here is some idea book ideas, and this is a font I got online from Eric. I think
that's a nice one.
Yeah.
So
very
this is
legible.
A sheet you can use to make to reference. But with all these signs that they're a little too big, This one is a 3x5
Yeah.
stud, still a little big for a lot of the box. So what we can do before that, so this font is a little bricky,
Yes.
Yeah.
and so with the new macaroni pieces, we can build a lot of curvy fonts. So here is one example.
And this
So-
is yours, right?
Yeah, this one is mine.
This feels very, I mean, it could lend itself to multiple different styles, but I could see this with sci-fi easily.
Yeah, it's
Like the question mark is awesome, and the X.
it's a beautiful font.
The numbering's really lovely too. I haven't seen this before.
And now this is still pretty large though, right?
This is 4x5, so it's still pretty large. You can I have another version that's one stud shorter, but all fonts can be done with that font, so I didn't show it here.
Got it.
For example, O, you can just take away one stud. P, you can take away like one stud on the bottom. Q, same thing. R is a little hard. R is always hard in any font. There are just a couple letters that's just hard to do in any font. One is K.
Yeah, that would be hard. Where would you take one out?
K here is easy, but R is, because it has the curve shape on top and then another slope on the bottom. I find that to be the hardest to do.
Yeah, and so Christopher Custer was saying it has a very Art Deco look, and it does. And this is actually this was the font that I used when I was referencing trying to create the font for California Dreamin'. So I did some variations on some of these letters and came up with some of my own based on your awesome design. That's so cool.
Did it take? I'm curious. The Q is really beautiful too. Like, can you talk a little bit about your process? Like, I would think it would take a very long time to find all of these and put them in just the perfect place, because the shapes aren't very forgiving.
So for some of these, I found one way to do a coherent font is to limit yourself to certain pieces. So for this font, I limit myself to only bricks and the macaroni piece. So there are only so many different ways then you can sort of realize these fonts.
Mm-hmm.
And so for you, like, it's either going to be a brick that goes this way, that goes on the bottom, or it's going to be some other. I mean, there are only so many configurations you can do.
Yeah. That's just well, that Q in particular is beautiful because it's perfectly readable, like and has been obviously like distilled down, and there's only certain things you can do. And I love this idea of limiting the type of brick to use, because yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Almost like using the same pen all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's one, I guess, tip I have, is to limit your the number of bricks you use. Another is where I have for example, in these curvy shapes, just substitute any. So with a curvy piece, you don't have any diagonal directions, so you just replace anything diagonal with a curve.
Right. That makes sense.
And just replace it with a curve.
So it again limits your choices even more. It's like a funnel, just getting narrower and narrower until you end up with the pieces.
Yeah. And one we need to do is these curve pieces is V is hard to do because it's hard to distinguish V from U.
Yeah. Yep. I've definitely had that issue before.
So V is always a tricky tricky letter to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. usually. So K is tricky in some when you get to smaller fonts, K becomes harder.
Yeah. Yep.
With curvy pieces, K is not too bad. So this is one font with the curved pieces. So let's go on to the next one.
Wow.
You can really do small fonts.
Wow, the capital D is so cool.
Yeah, again, with D, it's just you limit yourself to only these pieces, and with these, this is a 2x8 rectangle, right? So there are only so many ways you can do it.
Wow. And you have both. Yes. And Albert says upper and lowercase.
Yeah, so
he was just saying that you have both upper and lowercase letters, which is amazing. And now, because I've had this mock I've wanted to do for a while of a wax museum, like I've had it all laid out, and I even started building it, and I could not come up with the lettering for the sign that I was satisfied with. And this would be a great jumping off point because it's like right, like right in that perfect size.
Well, the capital P is really surprising and cool too.
Oh, yeah. MKE says he's used this one for inspiration.
Yeah, so that again, the trick is you when you limit yourself to these pieces, there are only so many ways you can rotate this quarter circle.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Another piece that that can be substituted. Let me just go on to my next font first. So with these you call tombstone pieces.
Yep.
You can off the tiles to make it slightly more refined.
Oh, I see where you've pointed them out.
W here, do it slightly W. E here looks slightly better than the other E. S here, it's slightly better, and W here.
But you barely notice that new piece. It still primarily looks like that other quarter round shape.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what I mean to say is it makes a huge improvement, but it doesn't significantly change the style of the font. It just refines it.
Yeah. So when you have pieces, they're somewhat the same style. You can mix them, and they still look coherent.
Wow, that looks great.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, full screen, I can't see the chat anymore. If there's any question in chat.
No questions. Yeah. Oh, Patty asked if you can zoom in on the picture a little bit, but I'm not sure if you can do that. Oh, there you go. A little bit.
Let me go to my. My font.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. So, okay. So this is you're using Studio here?
This is LDD. I'm using Studio now, but LDD was what I was using before.
Oh, gotcha. Got ya. So how long ago did you create these different fonts?
This one, let me see, what day was the modified date? 4 years ago, like 4 years. I forgot what they called it.
Yep. Yeah, the underlying 2x4 grid is consistent throughout all the designs. Yeah, it really brings the font together, he says. It's totally true. All right.
Yes, here. Better? Are people interested in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we'd love to see it a little closer up.
Especially the smaller letters would be easier to see closer. That's great.
That looks great. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Wow.
Well, you could not abstract that small a much more.
No, and again, it's like perfectly readable. And what I love about this particular one, especially the lowercase, has a very like 60s feeling, like bubble, like bubble letters. It's really I don't know. It has a fun feeling, you know, like a fun
Yeah.
feeling to it, which I really, really like. I think those are like, I love a font that can like that expresses a feeling. I'm famous. I love type, you know, like big display fonts. Like I love display fonts.
Did you have any other thoughts about the making of this font? Things that were particularly like you were really happy when you solved a problem or anything?
Let's see, and like you point out, relocating in S here. S is usually hard to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
nice.
lowercase, the uppercase S is great also. I mean, the whole font is amazing.
I want to add is at first I was trying out something that's 3x4.
Mhm.
I didn't finish because I figure 2x4 will be more interesting. But you can come up with your own letters using these quarter circle.
Yeah. Well, it's nice how condensed the capital letters are in this. You could really fit a lot of text in a small space with that.
Yeah.
Here because T I'm not too satisfied.
Very nice.
These are like even when the your unit measurement is even. So I add another quarter circle here to make the T more flesh out.
It's a cute little T.
Yeah, it makes it super fun.
It's like a little tiny key. That's awesome.
And remind me of Twitter, like the Twitter sign.
Oh yeah, because it's a little like the bird too, right?
But I don't like it as much as this T right here.
Well, I love the points give you these brush strokes that are so fine. I'm always looking for fine detail in Lego.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very cool. All right. And Pete W says, these are really smart. And I agree. Very smart designs.
Let's go. So, something else I want to point out is you can also replace the O here with a circle piece with a in the middle.
Oh, just like a single circle.
Piece.
Oh, like a 2x2 circle.
Yep.
Middle. Yeah.
Well, when you start getting fonts this small, I think the lines between the plates or between the tiles make such a difference. I like the cross in the O. It almost gives it like a little hole in the middle.
Yeah. A little star-shaped hole. It's very cute. All right.
Real mark depends on the color of the piece. You might not see the lines in between, but in LDD it's pretty obvious.
Right.
All right, go on to the next one. So this one is one of my latest font. So sometimes with all these previous fonts, it's a positive font. So with positive fonts, sometimes when you're building like a flat surface, it doesn't work as well because make the font so that putting a flat surface and you need lettering, it doesn't stick out. Well, it goes under, but it's still at least it's.
Wow, I'm trying.
Wow, so a negative font space like that. The Y is really cool.
So, and just to make it clear, just to make it clear, this is these are what you've created here is the outside part of the lettering rather than the inside part of the lettering. Yeah, we're getting a just Lee. By the way, we're getting a little breakup with your sound. It's kind of going in and out a little bit. Uh-oh. He'll be back in a minute, folks. But until then, we can look at this awesome lettering. There he is.
Am I back? Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, my phone was having a bit issue.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so what was I saying?
Oh no, so we were just I was just pointing out that what you've done here is created the outside of the letters rather than the inside of the letters, like all with negative space.
Yeah. So the reason why I created this font is because of this mock right here. I was doing this was one of the mock I bought to Bricks by the Bay 2019. So I need this. I was building this giant chessboard, and the chessboard needs these letters and numbers on the side. So I create this so that the letter doesn't stick out, and it's flat with a surface. Fits a chessboard better. So a few things I want to point out in this font is one is the E right here. E is kind of hard to do in this font. So what I have is a shield piece right here, a pentagon shield piece.
Oh yes, that's brilliant.
So to create that wedge right there, so it actually sticks out a little bit right here. It sticks out by one more stud. But if you place them right, like here, you don't really see it. Well, you don't see as much. And for X here, I used again the tombstone.
Yep. So Joel is asking, is there a letter that you start with that you say, if I can make this letter, I can do the rest of the letters from there?
There isn't really one letter. It's more like if I can create this letter, then it'll make creating this other letter harder. For example, if I can do a K, then it makes doing sometimes makes doing V hard. Just because like I was saying, the curve, if you replace a slope with a curve, then you cannot create V that easily. But in this case, it's not as bad.
It's such a fantastic font. I love. And what is this like? Then what's the size of this? Sorry, I can't really see.
This is the. Let me see if I can go to. This one is 3 by 5. These are 3 by 5 letters.
Got it. Oh, and can you pull up close again like that? Just so I want people to see, like, especially that little shield wedge that you used is such a great.
For the E right here, it's a shield. It's hidden by this, say, this tile right here.
Got it. So these would be a little more dimensional than some.
Yeah. So, So this one I just hide it like that.
Got it.
But if I'm not doing this, if I'm just doing a mock, it probably wouldn't matter. You just replace this with a tile.
Right. Now I'm curious. Is this because you wouldn't have lines in between letters probably on a mock, right? It would be a word. So I'm curious. What kind of challenges did you find it more challenging to build negatively like this than the positive way?
It's more or less the same. It's just again, I find certain pieces. For example, this one. I used this what do you call it? The wedge tile.
Yes.
And the quarter round piece. Then the tombstone piece. These three, I start out limiting myself to these three.
Very good.
Just start building. And
well, while we were on a sort of a mini stopping point here, I warned Lee about this already, so he's all good to go, everyone. It is actually time for our special guest of the day, the pause that refreshes. Everybody, please welcome to the show. It's Logan. Logan, come here. Come on, buddy. Yay, it's Logan cookie time. All right, here we go. And one. Well, I've gotten better at doing this by myself. And two. Ooh, wow, he almost didn't get that one. He's really good. Say hi to everybody. Look right at the camera. And three. Good boy, Logan. All right, that was Logan cookie time, everybody. All right. Oh my goodness. All right. There we go. All right. Back to the so we have to do that, or there's like a revolt in the chat, Lee. Like everybody like gets all up in arms. So
give me a break.
All right. So let's continue on, shall we?
Yeah, so I also tried to do a negative font for even a smaller font. Mm-hmm. This one is 2x3, but it gets pretty hard. So I gave up.
Yeah,
after 8.
Well, you know, it's funny because some of the letters can be abstracted, but they can be read in context, like with the other letters around it. Is that sometimes? Do you ever kind of? Have you ever
have to budget if really you can do a letter, right. But I just don't like it as much. So I have a lot of these letters where these fonts where I don't have all the letters. I only have like some of the letters, and I just don't show it.
I just don't use that letter. Really cool. And Albert Lee says the lowercase g is brilliant. Yeah, it really is. That's a fantastic little piece of lettering there. Very cool.
All right, let's go back to the presentation. So next is what I call slope fonts. So these fonts are made of slopes. Here are some examples. This one from the TrickyBricks collaboration many years ago.
Wow, that's great. Oh, look at that.
This is what do you call it? The font I found that was really old, from early 2000s, I think.
I love that actually the lowercase t is so, and it's the same as the E though, right?
Yeah, this one is the same as the E.
But and again, right there, it's the fact that you're reading it in context and you already know what the rest of the words say, right? Yeah. So your eye kind of forgives the fact that two different letters are the same configuration.
Yeah, I was reading somewhere saying that if for most people, if you take away some letters in a sentence, people can still read it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and also with so much texting and twittering and accidentally spelling things wrong, I think we've become like accustomed more to reading like, you know, misspelled things and things that look different as, you know, the what they actually are.
Yeah.
We're getting you you're breaking up again, audio there, Lee. Sorry.
So here is my complete font. With this one is done using the 1x2 slopes. So this is inverted slopes. This is inverted slopes with the non-inverted version.
Oh, so this is these are sideways built letters.
These are sideways built letters. So for example, here this is a brick. Let me see if I have this font here.
That is beautiful. I love that. What a fantastic font.
Yeah. So
Wow.
what we have is you can see it's the inverted slope, and here we have a non-inverted version.
Oh, could you pull in even closer up on that? Wow, look at that, you guys. This is crazy. Of course, that is genius.
So this is one of my biggest font because these pieces are new, or at least it's not as common before.
Right. Wow.
So that's A. Yeah, one thing I found is if you can do A and B and C, then you can do a large number of these letters because they are just like E and E and O and Q. They're just like a variation on A, B, and C. So most are done with the same concept, like E here, done with the same concept as C with these inverted slopes. This here K, I had to use a slope just to get the what do you call it? Get the slope shape. Yeah, so most of these are pretty straightforward. This font is fairly straightforward. Oh,
so what size is that in studs?
so this is 4 by this is about 3. It's still about 3 by 3 by 5, 5 by 3. It's about 7 plates, slightly smaller than 3 studs. 6 to 7 plates.
Got it.
So T here is 6 plates. Most of these are 7 plates. S is a bit different because S is usually one of the harder letter to do.
Right.
So this one is done with slopes, with the slopes.
Oh, like little cheese wedges.
Yeah, and let me zoom in. So here,
so that's a cheese wedge, and then you're using what we call, I mean, like in our like build language, we call a slipper, which is the wedge that has the little one plate that comes off the back of it.
Yeah,
that you're using at the bottom of your S.
Yeah, the inverted slope. And the bottom here, yeah, this one is the new, slightly newer slope with
yeah, that's the one we call the slipper. Yeah.
Yeah. And the R here, I used another slope piece. It's the what would you? It's just yeah, this piece.
Yeah, it's I never know what that's called, but I use it a lot when I'm building things that I want to have. Like I especially use it when I'm making clouds, when I want to have a nice like uneven, shape of curves all the way around. It's a great one for breaking up the gentle slopes of some of the other things, I think.
Yeah. Yep. So P here again, use that. So that's pretty much the whole font. So this one is not too hard to do, I found, because there isn't any letter that's just very difficult.
So Lee, everybody in the chat is asking if you're on Instagram. Are you on Instagram?
No, I'm not. I always thought about starting an Instagram account, but never got a chance to. Oh, I might do that later.
Well, we will. I'll be able to point people towards where they can find samples of your work. I know you have a Flickr account, right?
Yes.
And
I still use my Flickr account. Yeah.
And also, too, you can go to if you look up New Elementary and Lee's name, you'll see his black letter font, which I think we're going to look at here and probably in a little bit, that everybody just went crazy over because it was so incredible. And you can find his things that way. So
I
all
did.
right.
I remember 1 or 2 articles for New Elementary, and
Oh, very good.
yeah,
It's a great site. I love New Elementary. They're one of my very favorite Lego sites.
yeah, it's a good site. And let's go to the next one. So this one is a bit more elaborate, but
Yeah.
not as easy to use because it's very large. It's 9 by how many bricks? Like 4 bricks wide, 9 studs long.
Got it. That's
This one, I tried to use these slope pieces, these curved slope pieces, both the small ones and the large ones. So
Now I notice you have the white lines
yeah, so
there.
this one is complicated because I have to let me open it. I have to. Oh, not this one. See, some of the I only did half of them, and so,
Well, this is fascinating, and I'm sure everybody is getting like a million ideas. And I have a feeling like the next couple of challenges that we do, we're going to see some signs in them.
oh, so this is another font. Never mind. Oh, this one. Yeah. So
There we go.
this font. So is this font? Some of them, I connected. If you look at on the back, they are not connected. So I
Oh,
have to connect them. I have to connect them using these strips and bar,
wow.
force them together.
Now, why did you have to use the little bar on them? Is just to kind of hold it together, or?
Yeah, just to hold them together because they're not connected. If you look at it,
Oh, I see. I see.
they're
Yeah.
not connected.
Oh, well,
For the letter D, for example, I didn't really have to do it, but for example, a G, I I can't really connect these 2 pieces together.
got it. Well, what's great about that though is it gives it a way to like attach it
Yeah,
onto a sign, right? Like now you
yeah,
have a little
yeah,
way to attach the letter on. That's
yeah.
great.
So it's not so much a detriment to the letter. It's just another way of connecting them.
Yeah.
So for example, the K right here, the top and bottom, I have to connect them uh, through this sidebar.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that makes sense.
They're not connected at all.
They're
But
just
they're
hanging
connected.
out there.
Yeah. Same with the M. It's completely this part and this part are completely like the letter part is completely detached.
Wow. But it looks so great. And again, like if you hang that on a white sign or like match your sign color to the bars, you're never going to see it. Like the illusion will be complete. That's
Yeah.
man, just beautiful.
PQ. So basically, all these letters are done with. I limit myself to the slope pieces. Mainly this slope, but also the smaller slope,
Mm-hmm.
the larger slopes. So the S here again, um, they're not connected here, and yeah,
Wow. And what a brilliant idea. Like just like what a brilliant way to think to connect them together.
yeah.
Wow.
So X is a bit different. The connection point is kind of close, so I use this piece. Yeah, also nice because I can now connect this directly to a stud on the bottom.
Yes. Yep. Now, would you also be able to use the 1x2 plate that has a bar going across? Would that fit there as well?
Yeah. Actually, I don't think so. Yeah, both versions wouldn't fit here.
Oh, got it. Okay, makes sense.
Let me. That's what I remember. Let me try it. Just try right here. Yeah, it wouldn't fit.
All right, because the little things that hold the bar are closer together.
This one would kind of fit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Be a very
Yeah.
strong.
Interesting.
And the Z here is thing with curved pieces. Z is hard to do. With if you only use slopes, anything with a diagonal is hard to do.
So now is this with hinge pieces, clip and hinge?
Yeah. So for Z, what I did is use this. The brick was a clip.
Uh-huh.
You can use the play version as well.
That's brilliant. Wow, Lee, this is just incredible.
Yeah, but the drawback again is this font is very large. It's let's see, it's 5'8". It's a stud tall and several like 6 studs wide. So you can only use it on the largest sign.
Right, or something that only needs a couple of letters. Like
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So these are the curve fonts. So for really small fonts, you really have to go to print the pieces, and these are the two sets that I bought a lot of when they were just for my lettering needs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So for another small font that Lego did a lot of recently, or not recently, but in the sets.
Like the modulars.
Yeah. All modulars have a lot of these very nice fonts. They are usually done with plates sideways, either straight up, but this one is non-sideways. This one is sideways, HONTL, they're sideways.
Yeah.
That's one way to do letters. A better way is what they have perfected here. These Flexbar fonts. But if you look at it, this one is really complicated. I still haven't quite figured out how they did this, the original version. But the version, they're more streamlined and easier to do.
Yeah, so that's the lettering that we did for our theater, and I found it like we didn't have the room to do the clip with the bar on the back, so it was all just kind of like fit in there. And it is a little difficult, like making sure that, because you're dealing with plates and sideways building, is making sure that whatever word you have is going to be able to fit within the system of bricks. Like if you want to put a frame around it. So we had like a frame around ours, and I had to really like, get it to not be too loose or too tight. It was like, very little room to mess up there, but
it's a bit difficult. I'll show a new font that just came up last weekend.
All right.
While I was preparing for this, I just had an idea, and
you're seeing it here first, folks. This is great.
Let me just go into this font. Yeah, so a bit background on Snot in case people need a reminder. 2 stud equal to 5 plates, and the 1 big brick plus 2 plate equals to 2 studs.
Yep.
So that's the basics of this font. And here is a sheet that someone came up with. I think this is a Swedish lug. They came up with this really nice table.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So they didn't specify how you want to build it. They just came up with this basic idea of how to do all these letters. So the basic structure is you have 5 plates in the middle, and you have 2 plates on each side.
Got it.
Use that as a basic like shape, and then just fill in the shapes. So A, B, C, E, so 2 C's, E, F, G, H, they're all the same. A few exception is I, L, I, let's see, M here, T. So there are a few exceptions where it's done with just sideways, but most of them it's done with this basic structure.
Right. Yeah, and this one is definitely, you're a little limited in what you can spell out, because there definitely are. Well, first of all, there's some that don't come as lowercase, like with the same size, and then also some of them are a little difficult to make out. Like the lowercase U is a bit of a cipher. I mean, again, it might be one of those ones that, like, in context, you'd be able to read it, but it's a little hard to come across. But this is the chart that I used when I was making our theater sign.
Yeah, but the hardest to make is X in this font. None of X looks like X.
Right. Hey, hoy hoy, Boone Builds is here. Hey Boone, how's it going? Welcome.
Yeah, so the basic idea is you have a bar running on top, and then maybe another second bar running on the bottom. This is the basic structure you create with this font.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the way I do it is I create a 2 by whatever, a 2 stud deep frame for this font.
Okay.
In the back, use a flex tube or use any bar that has these bars that can be interconnected. So one way, like you're saying too, when you use a flex bar, if you write something out really long, it doesn't hold in place. It flex a lot. So one solution is so you have to really plan this out. On certain letters, you have a stud on the bottom to connect, to anchor it down, sort of.
Oh, to anchor it down. Yeah, yeah. These ones definitely take a great amount of forethought.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like planning.
So like this stud has to be connected to, and you make sure that in between the letters they're exactly 2 stud wide or 5 plate wide lengths by either adding space or just adding something else.
Very good.
That's the key here. Here is my version with all the alphabet. Here's the back. In this version, I only use 1 bar on top because that was easier. If you use a second bar on the bottom, it makes spacing slightly easier because just go to the letter.
And thank you so much for having the for showing us the files, because I think it gives people a much better idea of how it's actually constructed.
When I was teaching these, giving these presentations, I just find that it's hard for me to convey the shape to people.
Right.
Let me go to
oh. Wow.
For some of these letters, if you have, if let's say you have a second set of clips on the back, bars, then you need this piece right here to connect these two.
Right.
This can be well, not in this case. This can be a tile instead of a plate.
Oh, very good. Okay.
There was a not in this letter, but I forgot which letter that by having a second row, it just makes spacing easier.
Yeah.
Makes white spacing easier because you only have one bar. You kind of have to have a plate here to connect the top and the bottom.
Wow. Well, I hope everybody out there is getting lots of good ideas. I expect to see signs soon. Maybe we're gonna have to do a sign challenge to see what people can come up with.
Another thing I want to point out is so it was this was an exclamation mark. I used a bar here.
Oh, look at that.
To make the dot.
I have to give you applause for that. That's brilliant. That's really amazing. And is that then a snot brick with a snot on both sides turned sideways, right? Yep. There you go. Wow.
You can use the headlight brick, but it doesn't look as nice.
Yeah, because then you get that little indentation, right? Wow.
If you don't have spacing in the back, you can replace this with the lipstick.
Oh man, of course. That's brilliant. You guys, the lipstick, you know how much I used so many lipsticks in my last mock, Lee. Like just a bunch. So I have lots. That's great.
Yeah, so that's this one. Oh, so let me just go to the next improve on this is basically an improvement on the previous font. Just replace these with cheese slopes. So
whoa.
For example, R, you can do a uppercase R now with the cheese slope, and A to oh no, not so much A, but the V slightly better than the other.
Yeah. I was gonna say this font looks like it would be on the cover of like a rock and roll album from the 70s. It's like it's great. It's very pointy. I really like it.
So the key here is just you replace the 5.
So you've built them opposite of each other, and they fit together like little puzzle pieces where the wedges are. Brilliant.
And yeah, they're just opposite, like this one and this one. So this piece is one way. This piece goes. This one goes another way. Yeah, so this one helps with making this font better. Can replace some of them. And another interesting usage for this idea is so before that, this is I'm using this font in a mock. So this is a mock I did a while ago. I need a sign, so I just put it in this art. It doesn't look as well as good as I wanted to, but I just want to try out this new letter for my mock. Another usage for this is to do these non-English letters or just any pattern. Like if you want like a generic pattern for your mock. So this is the Dwarven language from Lord of the Ring, and for Lord of the Ring mock.
That's awesome. As a dyed in the wool Dungeons and Dragons player, I highly approve of this font.
So that's that. So in this case, you can see that it's a very long font.
Yeah.
Like there is a stud under here. There's a stud under here. So I break them up to make sure they're sturdy. They don't flex.
Very cool.
So let me talk. It's not here. The bracket. This a bracket is like a half a plate. So plus bracket is a stud.
Oh, very good. Now, we've talked about snot math on the show before, but not this particular one, that little bracket, especially now that they have the 1x ones, right? The 1x bracket.
The 1x bracket, it makes this font really really easy. So this is the font that just came up last weekend. So here is the basic idea. The basic idea is the same as the previous one. You have 5 plates in the middle. You have instead of having 2 play on the side and 2 play on this side, you have 2 half play on this side and 2 half play on this side.
Wow. That makes my brain hurt looking at it. Just like thinking about how you came up with that makes I would never, like, I would have like blown a cog at this point.
Oh, the key piece here is this. Oh, sorry, is this piece the minifigure, the neck, the neck.
Oh, the little neck thing that they put on so that they can attach wings or whatever onto the back.
A stud on the back.
Yes. All right.
Fine, right. So this one I use Studio.
Very good. Now here's a question: do you find Studio easier than LDD?
I find LDD more reliable, but LDD doesn't have any of the new bricks.
Right. Right.
You do anything new with LDD, or I can do this in LDD.
Right.
You have to use a Studio. So here is the basic idea. You have.
That's brilliantly. Wow. I can't. Yeah, I would have never. My brain could have never conceived of that. That's just really, really, really smart.
Rid of this. So the key here, one byte bracket, it has to point one way, and then have the second 1 byte bracket point the other way.
Oh.
2 plates on the 2 sides to connect this.
Wow.
Using it as a gap filler to fill in the gap. It's a little bit, but if you look on the side, from far away, it's not as bad.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and especially if you're talking about building something that's going to be viewed at a convention where people are going to be, several feet back from it, then it all just kind of blends in. And I think that's something too for people to think about, right? Like if you are viewing something from a distance, you can add a certain amount of dimensionality to it and make, pieces can stick up that aren't going to be visible once you've stepped back from it a little bit.
Yeah. So was this another basic shape is this one. So this is one bracket, this is another bracket, and then house in the middle.
Oh my God. This is crazy. Wow.
Here you can make M and W and T better in this font. So
yeah.
T, W. And then I did X with this font as well, but this doesn't quite look like an X. X is always hard. So
yeah, I would say X seems to be one of the more difficult ones.
For if you want to do X in this font, I would suggest try something more out of the box, which I'll show later.
Got it.
Yeah, so this is much smaller. You don't need a 2 stud depth, but it's not exactly 1 stud either. because of the bracket.
Right, like the little part that sticks out in the back, right?
It slightly sticks out, but it's still better than 2 bricks. So if you have like a half a stud size, you can use this, and also with W and M, it's the same front and back. So
Right.
we'll sign that they can from both directions.
Yvette is asking if you have a book.
So this is all I have. It's a 40-page slide.
She would buy it. I totally agree.
Yeah. So here is the font. Yeah. So another thing good about the Brick Studio is I can render using a very nice render engine. So this is render.
Yeah. Very nice.
Hybrid, it go even bigger. Again, with the snot font, to this courier. It looks like a courier font.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very big.
I just need a sign, so I stick it on.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's the perfect sign for that building. It's like it's great.
Like I'm saying, like this building was fit to the sign.
There you go. Okay, now we see an example. It worked out nicely.
And yeah. So here is the whole font. I'm not too much detail. It's a pretty complicated font.
Yeah, this one looks pretty intense. Yeah, Brickworm, I agree. I love the serifs on the font. Yeah, really. This one is really impressive. I gotta say, this one is it's beautiful. I mean, they're big letters, right? But it's stunning. It looks like cross stitch, like something, or like embroidery that somebody would have sewn in. It's lovely.
So the key here is use these brackets.
Mm-hmm.
The finer details. So some of the brackets, for example, goes this way.
Uh-huh.
Some of the brackets go the other way, so I can create this fine slope.
This is brilliantly. I'm sure you're blowing many people's minds today with this.
Yeah. That's this font. If you can look at the whole font. Are the more complicated, but most of these other ones, they're pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
And then if you go even more elaborate with snot, you can do any font.
This is beautiful. How fun. Like, what a fun. That's delightful. That just makes me smile. That's really, really wonderful.
Yeah, so power of, let's go back to something simpler. So if you want to do a really small and simple font, you can just use a single piece or 2 pieces maybe. So I was saying, if X is hard to do, then replace X with something else. Just if you're doing a sign, then the X can be always something that's artistic.
And that's 2 boomerangs, right?
And I A there, you can find pieces that looks like the letter.
Yeah, well, now I know that the one that you have there as an O, they definitely used as in the for the pool hall. Didn't they use that O, or they used around? I've seen it used in a thing. Oh yeah, there it is. Flo's V8 Cafe. There it is in use.
Here is one example. Here is a mock I did 100. I just want something simple.
That's great.
Font, just use a single piece. Another font, a category of font I came up with is what I call bar and clip fonts.
Mm-hmm.
What you need is a bar, anything that has a bar attached, like these weapons,
Uh-huh.
and attach them to a clip, any kind of clip, and then be able to rotate it. So here is one basic example of the letter A. And,
That's great.
Elaborate. We have this whole.
Oh man, this one is like this. I have to recreate. This is just fantastic. Now, how are you getting them to rotate? Are they on? Is it like a snot piece with a wrench so that you can turn the clip?
They are. Let me show. It's easier. So it's basically a clip on a brick.
Very good. Yeah, that's what we call those. Sorry, we call those wrenches. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is a snot piece that has the clip wrench or a robot hand in a snot piece. That is brilliant.
So for this one, I used a group of these, the long bone, the small bone, and the 1x3 and the 1x4. So for this style of fonts, you really need a group of different sizes of bars, basically,
right,
to be able to just writing letters from that point on.
I am in love with this font. This is really fantastic.
One key here is, for example, for this M right here, like you can really adjust where the stroke is. Finally adjust them by, adding a plate to the stud is, because so I want the clip to be here and the bar to be here. If the stud is, if I take away one plate, this stud goes down a little bit, then I just shift where the stroke is by a little bit.
Oh, very good. Yes. Wow. Really, really. Miss Brick says there's going to be a rush to Bricklink for bones now. Everybody's going to be running out to get the bones.
The issue with this one is it's hard to do slopes, so you need a small piece to really get the bones, to get the slopes.
Yeah. Well, so, it's just
the smallest piece for Q.
Oh yes, I see that you used a little like a claw piece for the Q. That's great. Wow, I didn't see that the first time around. Well, and of course the claw shape fits in with the feeling, of that font.
Yeah. So basically that was this font. But you can really create your own using a combination of these slopes. These bars. And also you can. This is just like writing. So I wrote this Chinese character using different weapons. So it's basically like drawing. It's using this idea limited to what you can do.
Right. Wow. Oh.
What I'm doing now is just I take one new piece and try to come up with a font using that piece. This is a two-piece that Lego just came up with, and yeah, the same idea as all the other curved pieces, just adding curves to it. The bugging LDD that doesn't let you connect the two pieces completely, so it should be completely connected.
Oh, okay, got it. Yep. I love this font so much. This makes me super happy. It's got a very sci-fi-y feeling to it, I think.
Sci-fi because of the two.
Wow.
Font. Another one is another. Probably have to show this. This is a hexagon font. Yeah, because one day I was just browsing online, found this hexagon font online, and I just thought I can build this in Lego.
Really great. Now, what pieces are you using for the actual, like the lines of the letters?
Yeah, let me open up.
Wow, my goodness. I have a feeling this is going to be one of our most watched videos very soon. This is a treasure trove of information, I gotta say. Yeah, what I love, he says, I'm sorry, they say, FLX says, what I love about all these is how the letter Q's are made, as that's a very hard letter to make out of Lego. It is. That is very true.
So this one, I use this piece. It's the what do you call it? It's the rotatable piece.
Yes, I know what that piece is. Oh, wow.
Piece. Because I need to create this 120 degree angle. It's pretty difficult to do, not 120. Just I don't remember what the angle is, but it's a bit difficult to recreate.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful.
Then to get the bars, because the math doesn't quite work out with hexagon, and this, so I have to extend it by using these pacifier piece.
Got it.
To connect it and then extend it using one by one plates.
Oh.
So this line is extended with one by one plates.
And all this on those hexagon pieces, that's just genius.
And they're all attached to this hexagon piece.
Oh man, oh man. Just beautiful.
It's pretty fun to do. It's different. It's you get this hexagon frame that's different from any of the other Lego, the normal Lego building experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, and then it's funny because we've gone from, blocks to, utilizing the quarter round tiles to give a more curved shape and the macaroni plates, and then this is just a whole nother direction. Brilliant.
Yeah, so that's the hexagon piece, hexagon font. Well, I just want to point out, I'm also using the normal Technic connectors for my
with the curves.
And
or with the angle.
So for some of these, because they don't connect, they're to get this shape, they're not really connected using Technic connection. This is again the pacifier piece. a bar pointing out, and then on top of the bar you connect the Technic hex, the Technic axle. What else?
So you say pacifier piece, is that the 1x1 round stud that has like a little pin like sticking out of the top of it?
That's the one. It's the
Yep.
1x1 bar sticking out.
Yep. Okay. Yep. That's the we call those. It's funny what everybody has their own language. You call them pacifiers. We call them inkwells because that's how I saw them used the first time was as a little inkwell. That's great.
Actually, a new the nipple piece, and I see some people got offended, so I start calling it the pacifier piece. So for this one here, because the hexagon has such a non-integer mass, so this is not actually like well connected, or it's connected, but it's kind of like not exactly attached to anything. Yeah, so it's a very good sci-fi font to use, and you have the red axle in the middle that makes it even more sci-fi-ish. So that's that font. And now we go on to the last font I have is the Gothic font. So this font I created, see, 4 years ago maybe. This was done before the quarter round tiles were available. So I used bricks instead here.
This is the one I gotta say. This is the one everybody's been waiting for. I put this one up on our Instagram post about the show, and people were going crazy over this one. So, can you show us can you tell us a little bit about the creation of it and show us oh yes, here we go. All right, everybody. More mind blowing. Pull your mind back together because it's about to get blown again. So, all right, let's check this out.
One of the basic strokes. So this is what I learned in school, lettering. The basic stroke is these long strokes that goes around and like see here. So to create that, this is a pretty complicated shape. So I have these two. I have basically first I have a 2x3 rectangle, and then I rotate the 2x3 rectangles, and this is a perfect connection because the distance between this stud and this stud is the same as the symmetric stud on the other side. These two studs. So you can rotate it, and then you get a very nice rotated angle.
Wow! So it's a perfect diagonal fit. That's great.
And then instead of doing a 2x3, I don't put a whole 2x3 plate. I have a 1x2 and a 1x4, and then I connect these two with a macaroni piece.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's the version instead of the brick version, and then you extend it out with the quarter circle. Let me find it here.
Wow. Albert says this is why we learn geometry in high school. Stay in school, kids.
I have a whole geometry class on Lego. Whole workshop I started a couple years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, folks, if you have ever considered coming to Bricks by the Bay, and you weren't sure, like, I was just say that, like, Lee's classes are worth the price of admission. Like, and there's tons of awesome stuff there. But to get a chance to take a class with Lee is an opportunity you should take if you can. All right.
One is this one right here.
So the horn piece
on the bottom, and with a clip, you just have the horn connected.
Right.
If the horn doesn't, it'll be more like this.
Oh, right. It would be it would be down a little bit more.
So, but it still looks okay if you look at it. And then another shape is this vertical stroke. I only use it on some of these. It's only connected actually on no. So this one is connected on two ends. It's done with using the same mask I showed earlier for the 2x3 plates.
Right.
Well, actually, not so for A, it's actually not connected. On the bottom is just a plate.
Oh, a tile to hold it up.
Yeah. So for some of them, it's just a tile on the bottom. Yeah. Once it's hard to do a full connection on two sides.
Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, if this is going to be on a mock or on a side of a building or on a sign at a con where it's at a distance, and this is what I was talking about earlier when I was asking you about the difference between making a font that is flat as compared to one like this that has a lot of dimension to it, so you can get those nice layers.
So if you look at it, there are many layers to this.
Yeah, and it's a great optical illusion when you see it, from the front. It looks completely flat.
And yeah, so for example, there's a jumper plate on the bottom here to get the position right.
Yes.
And here the little squiggles, I use the tooth piece.
Yep.
Let's see another piece I use a lot is this claw piece.
Oh yes, with the little clip on it. Those are the ones those are like the pieces I look at. I'm like, I'm sure I'll have a use for these one day, but I don't know what it is. And like now I know what it is.
This one is quite a bit in some of the.
Oh, right. I see it on the H and then the F, and I think that's the brilliance of it, right? Like you're using the same pieces as strokes, and those strokes then are used repeatedly, and it brings the whole font. Like it's what makes the font cohesive.
Yeah, come up with.
Hi, welcome back.
Hi. Sorry to be away. I'm glad to be back. I've heard lots of oohs and ahs. Oh, I see why too.
Yes, well, there's been so much, and then this one is epic, like the crown jewel, if you will.
Yeah. So, also some of the small squiggles I had to use the horn piece, the long horn piece, on the S and the Y. Yeah. So.
Oh, like the cow horn, like the little squiggly horn.
So are these like 8 wide?
Yeah. So what's the size on these?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 wide. 8 by 6.
8 by 6. All right.
Oh, it's worth building big.
Yeah, because the bigger. Well, I gotta say, Lee, in all of this, what I've been so impressed at is you've shown us like fonts that are all not much bigger than 4 or 5 studs, all the way up to like big things like this, and they're all perfectly readable and express themselves beautifully. And like I was saying earlier, I love display fonts, and they all have all the ones you have a character to them, right? Like they say something like, this one would be good for this thing, and this would be good for a Western or sci-fi, and I love that.
People using this font on one, I think it's TrickyBricks, one of their collaboration. They used it as a sign for their large fantasy display.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Can I ask you a question about this font? I see lots of teeth and other things that are made out of bars, but I don't see a lot of ugly clips hiding them.
Yeah, because they're black. They're black clips on a black white, and then when it's
I see.
useful,
When you see it super up close, it's so clean.
yeah, it's really quite lovely.
I see the black clips.
Some of them, they're actually not on the same level. Like this one is there's a because I need better. This
Oh.
and these little squiggles, because I can rotate it to make it fit.
Yeah. Oh, I see. And the left side of the Q is raised up one plate higher with white clip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clips are.
You know, I feel like a lot of times Lego involves so much abstraction that you have to sort of make compromises and say, well, you know, it was Lego. It's, you know, I just shaved off this corner. There don't seem to be any compromises here.
No, it's really quite stunning. Wow.
This font only works for a fairly large mock.
Right. Well, and it also just, you know, it shows you, just like with, you know, the difference between micro and large builds is the more pixels you have, the more detailed you can make, you know, you can make something. And this is just, it's art. Like, it's the art of lettering. Absolutely.
Just one thing is, you can use this font. So this is all capital letters. So for Gothic, the lowercase looks like this. So you complement the.
Oh, very nice. Right. So then you can have low, because these were all. This is like the letter that's at the very beginning of the fairy tale, like the
like
for once upon a time, a big squiggly around it, and like birds flying around it and stuff. Yeah, this is it's just wow.
Can I ask you the question that people ask so often, and I just roll my eyes like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you asked that, but I'm super curious. How long did you work on that font?
A week maybe. I don't remember the exact time. A week.
I would have thought longer. Like you know, the way I think about like little micro spaceships with barely any parts at all, each one of those letters there's a lot going on there.
Basic strokes, like, so for some of the letters like O and C, they have the same structure. I can get one, and you get like a lot of them.
Right. Right, and like the U, V, W have similarities.
Yeah, I remember S and X took me a long time, and also A took me a long time. But the other ones, once one is done, then all the other ones are pretty much the same.
Wow, the swoosh on the bottom of the capital S is really cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's the whole piece.
Oh, and it's dimensional too. It's higher and lower.
Have you used hot dogs yet? Hot dogs are popular on our stream as pieces.
I actually love the hot dog piece. I have a lot of the hot dog piece. I use them for something else, not for leather. I use them for my other mock. I use a lot of hot dog pieces.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because with your method that you showed us earlier, using the snot pieces with the little wrench clip, that's you know, you had the bars and the different weapons, but a hot dog would like work. I mean, you'd have to work with the curves of it, but I bet you could come up with some really cool looking font. Albert Lee says it only took you a week. I need to rethink my life choices now. Well, this has been amazing. Lee, thank you so much for coming on today and showing us all of your amazing work. I know, like I said, everybody's been super excited about this, and we've had really a lot of engagement with people. Are really excited. Kara's been putting links up to your Flickr gallery, so people can go check that out. if you want to take a class with Lee, you can check out Bricks by the Bay. Are you doing a class this year, Lee?
I'm doing a presentation this year, online presentation. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, because we're doing the online thing, but he's done again classes on a lot of other things. So hopefully everybody found this fun and inspiring. I know I did. Now I feel like I can go work on my wax museum mock again. Like I can actually make a sign. It's like I have a little bit more confidence about it now.
Well, I'm going to go back and watch everything that I missed. I think this is another of those shows, like a number of the how-tos, where there'd be a lot of reward from going back and watching the video.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fast forward.
Absolutely. So thanks again, Lee, for joining us. I hope you. I know this is the first time you've ever done a live stream before. You're like premiere.
First time.
Well, your camera and lighting look really good too.
I know.
The room is very bright.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks. Thank you, Lee, and thanks everybody for coming and watching the show today. I hope you found something inspiring to take with you today. Now, don't forget, we are in the middle of a 2-week challenge right now. So this Friday, we won't be doing the challenge slideshow. We'll have some other sort of content that I'm unsure of what that will be
completely
yet.
figured out.
Yeah. And then Sunday, we will be having our regular Sunday group build and chat with our special guest, April B., who is a wonderful Twitch streamer and Lego builder as well. So that will be a lot more fun. And don't forget, if you liked the stream today, please hit that like button. It's the little thumbs up button just below the video. It really helps us out. And if you are new, you could hit that subscribe button, and we'd also really like that too.
And you know, we don't always talk about all of our plans coming up, but I got to tell you, season 2 of the TrickyBricks build and chat is getting more and more exciting.
It is getting more and more exciting.
We have a lot of cool stuff in store.
All right, everybody. So until next time, don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask, get that vaccine as soon as you can, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Happy building.
Bye, Lee.